Narrated by Abdullah. While I was in the company of the Prophet peace be upon him on a farm, and he was reclining on a palm leaf stalk, some Jews passed by. Some of them said to the others, "Ask him, the Prophet peace be upon him about the Spirit." Some of them said, "What urges you to ask him about it?" Others said, "Don't, lest he should give you a reply which you dislike." But they said, "Ask him." So they asked him about the Spirit. The Prophet peace be upon him kept quiet and did not give them any answer. I knew that he was being divinely inspired, so I stayed at my place. When the divine inspiration had been revealed, the Prophet peace be upon him said, "They ask you, O Muhammad, concerning the Spirit. Say, the Spirit, its knowledge is with my Lord, and of knowledge you, mankind, have been given only a little." Surah 17 verse 85. Narrated by Ibn Abbas. Regarding neither say your prayer aloud, nor say it in a low tone. Surah 17 verse 110. This verse was revealed while Allah's Messenger peace be upon him was hiding himself in Mecca. When he prayed with his companions, he used to raise his voice with the recitation of Qur'an, and if the pagans happened to hear him, they would abuse the Qur'an, the one who revealed it and the one who brought it. Therefore Allah said to his Prophet, "Neither say your prayer aloud." Surah 17 verse 110. Means, do not recite aloud lest the pagans should hear you, but follow a way between. Narrated by Aisha. The above verse, Surah 17 verse 110, was revealed in connection with the invocations. Narrated by Ali. That one night Allah's Messenger peace be upon him came to him and Fatima and said, "Don't you, both offer the tahajjud prayer?" Ali said, "When Allah wishes us to get up, we get up." The Prophet peace be upon him then recited, "But man is more quarrelsome than anything." Surah 18 verse 54. Narrated by Sa'id bin Jubair, I said to Ibn Abbas, Naf al-Baykali claims that Moses, the companion of Al-Khadir, was not the Moses of the children of Israel. Ibn Abbas said, "The enemy of Allah, Naf, told a lie." Narrated Ubay bin Ka'b that he heard Allah's Messenger peace be upon him saying, Moses got up to deliver a speech before the children of Israel and he was asked, "Who is the most learned person among the people?" Moses replied, "I am the most learned." Allah admonished him, for he did not ascribe knowledge to Allah alone. So Allah revealed to him, "At the junction of the two seas there is a slave of ours who is more learned than you." Moses asked, "O my Lord, how can I meet him?" Allah said, "Take a fish and put it in a basket, and set out, and where you will lose the fish, you will find him." So Moses took a fish and put it in a basket and set out, along with his boy servant Yusha bin Nun, till they reached a rock, on which they both lay their heads and slept. The fish moved vigorously in the basket and got out of it and fell into the sea, and there it took its way through the sea, straight, as in a tunnel. Surah 18 verse 61. Allah stopped the current of water on both sides of the way created by the fish, and so that way was like a tunnel. When Moses got up, his companion forgot to tell him about the fish, and so they carried on their journey during the rest of the day and the whole night. The next morning Moses asked his boy servant, "Bring us our early meal, no doubt, we have suffered much fatigue in this journey of ours." Surah 18 verse 62. Moses did not get tired till he had passed the place which Allah had ordered him to seek after. His boy servant then said to him, "Do you remember when we betook ourselves to the rock? I indeed forgot the fish, none but Satan made me forget to remember it. It took its course into the sea in a marvelous way." Surah 18 verse 63. There was a tunnel for the fish, and for Moses and his boy servant there was astonishment. Moses said, "That is what we have been seeking." So they went back retracing their footsteps. Surah 18 verse 64. They both returned, retracing their steps till they reached the rock. Behold! There they found a man covered with a garment. Moses greeted him. Al-Khadir said astonishingly, "Is there such a greeting in your land?" Moses said, "I am Moses." He said, "Are you the Moses of the children of Israel?" Moses said, "I have come to you so that you may teach me of what you have been taught." Al-Khadir said, "You will not be able to have patience with me." Surah 18 verse 66. O Moses! I have some of Allah's knowledge which He has bestowed upon me, but you do not know it, and you too, have some of Allah's knowledge which He has bestowed upon you, but I do not know it. Moses said, Allah willing, you will find me patient, and I will not disobey you in anything. Surah 18 verse 69. Al-Khadir said to him, "If you then follow me, do not ask me about anything until I myself speak to you concerning it." Surah 18 verse 70. After that both of them proceeded along the sea coast, till a boat passed by and they requested the crew to let them go on board. The crew recognized Al-Khadir and allowed them to get on board free of charge. When they got on board, suddenly Moses saw that Al-Khadir had pulled out one of the planks of the boat with an adze. Moses said to him, "These people gave us a free lift, yet you have scuttled their boat so as to drown its people. Truly, you have done a dreadful thing." Surah 18 verse 71. Al-Khadir said, "Didn't I say that you can have no patience with me?" Surah 18 verse 72. Moses said, "Call me not to account for what I forgot, and be not hard upon me for my affair with you." Surah 18 verse 73. Allah's Messenger peace be upon him said, the first excuse given by Moses, was that he had forgotten. Then a sparrow came and sat over the edge of the boat and dipped its beak once in the sea. Al-Khadir said to Moses, "My knowledge and your knowledge, compared to Allah's knowledge, is like what the sparrow has taken out of the sea." Then they both got out of the boat, and while they were walking on the seashore, Al-Khadir saw a boy playing with other boys. Al-Khadir got hold of the head of that boy and pulled it out with his hands and killed him. Moses said, "Have you killed an innocent soul who has killed nobody? Truly, you have done an illegal thing." Surah 18 verse 74. He said, "Didn't I tell you that you can have no patience with me?" Surah 18 verse 75. The sub-narrator said, the second blame was stronger than the first one. Moses said, "If I ask you about anything after this, keep me not in your company, you have received an excuse from me." Surah 18 verse 76. Then they both proceeded until they came to the inhabitants of a town. They asked them food, but they refused to entertain them. In that town, they found there a wall on the point of falling down. Surah 18 verse 77. Al-Khadir set it up straight with his own hands. Moses said, "These are people to whom we came, but they neither fed us nor received us as guests. If you had wished, you could surely have exacted some recompense for it." Al-Khadir replied, "This is the parting of our ways. I will explain to you what you could not bear patiently. As for the ship, it belonged to some poor people, working at sea. So I intended to damage it, for there was a tyrant king ahead of them who seizes every good ship by force. And as for the boy, his parents were true believers, and we feared that he would pressure them into defiance and disbelief. So we hoped that their Lord would give them another, more virtuous and caring in his place. And as for the wall, it belonged to two orphan boys in the city, and under the wall was a treasure that belonged to them, and their father had been a righteous man. So your Lord willed that these children should come of age and retrieve their treasure, as a mercy from your Lord. I did not do it all on my own. This is the explanation of what you could not bear patiently. Surah 18 verse 78-82. Allah's Messenger peace be upon him said, "We wished that Moses could have been more patient so that Allah might have described to us more about their story.